Cyclists. Our panel this morning, media personality Mary Lambie, lawyer and political commentator Vernon Tava. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Lovely to see you in the studio, Mary, and lovely to have you back, Vernon.
All
right, let's talk about Len's parking. I mean, there's so many things are thrown up by this. The first thing is Len's bloody arrogance, quite frankly.
Well, actually, I think the big thing is Len's inability to park. Where did he get his licence? I mean, my blind second cousin could park better than that.
No, and I've been meaning to talk to you about that. Your blind second cousin should not be driving.
That's right.
Neither should Len,
actually. But, here he is. He has sold himself on being Mr. Cycleway, higher rates, build the cycle lanes. Yeah. And as a cyclist, not only is it really dangerous weaving between people, and it doesn't happen that often, who cycle over the cycle lanes. Oh, God, I know.
How did we let a cyclist in?
But it's so wonderful. But it's hideously dangerous, but it defeats the purpose of having the things.
It absolutely does. But he's the mayor. He must know. When he was parking, what did he just think? Oh, what does it matter?
Look, first off, cycleways are a tiny, tiny, tiny proportion of the amount of money that's actually being spent on transport. But putting that aside, when you look at the picture, you can see the curb actually comes right up to where the car was parked. So, it's where Vector put the charging station. But look, the long and the short of it is...
No, hang on,
it's
wrong.
one of those things...
You're wrong.
You look at the picture.
The curb doesn't... The other cars are not in the cycle lane.
Yeah, but there's a build out there. Because there's a build out there. But anyway, look, it's hard up against the curb. But anyway, look, I'm not going to defend it because you know what? It's one of those things that a PR person looks at and says, move the car, this looks terrible.
Absolutely. So, this is where the arrogance of the man comes in. No, but here's what potentially is, and you touched on it just now. Why do you have a charging station where a car has to obstruct a cycle lane to get... I mean, how stupid is this council?
That's a new cycle lane, so that's only gone in the last few weeks.
So what was there first, the charging station or the cycle lane?
Well, it looks like the charging station was only just put in there as well, so it's hard to know what was going on. But bottom line is, it's not a good look. You know? So it's hard to defend.
My hatred for this council knows no bounds.
I know. Yeah, it's kind of blinding, isn't it?
There is upside. There is upside, because I believe there is upside to every yarn.
Yeah.
When Len Brown is dumped, which is a certainty, up there with death and taxes, then he will have plenty of time on his hands to learn how to drive and to park. And that will be a good thing. Plenty of time to practice.
Oh, you're clutching at straws for something happy to come out of this, I think.
It's a shame things have been personalised so much. We've got a council that's making up for decades of infrastructural underinvestment. And, there are people all over Auckland whose rates are actually falling. Why are they never on camera? Why are we never seeing them in the Herald?
Because a spectacular number of us are experiencing a major hike.
And also, Vernon, you need to declare more often your interest in this. I mean, you're a bloody councillor.
Well, I'm an elected member of council.
Exactly. You're one of those shabby individuals with too much time.
I would actually go one step further and I'd say, let's put us all out of our misery and get rid of Len now. But I know legally that is not possible. But a vote of no confidence, you can't. But that needs to change, I think.
In the States, you can have recall elections. If you get a certain percentage of councillors to agree or whatever, you can actually have an election and recall someone. But we don't have that facility in Auckland. Look, technically...
or in New Zealand.
Len's done a good job. CRL would never have happened without Len, or the Super City. There's lots of stuff that never would have happened without
no one. Even a completely stopped broken clock is completely accurate 2 times a day. So no one can be so stupid everything they do is wrong. I'm sure some of the things he's done has been okay.
He is on a remarkable spiral down. Everything he touches turns to custard. He fundamentally lied. He got in on a lie. There were rates guarantees. He didn't keep those guarantees. He repeatedly broke them. Yeah. So for that reason alone, he's got to go. All right, let's talk about Barfoot and Thompson. Just very quickly, Vernon, where do you stand on this? And we've got Labor basically saying this thief is a hero.
2 things. Is if you breach confidentiality in any job, you'll be fired. If I did it where I work, I'd be fired. And, it's kind of hard to defend that, to be honest. However, what it does highlight, though, is that these are the sort of measures that people need to report to for us to get any sort of accurate data on foreign ownership in New Zealand. So we are a well-known bolt hole for foreign money. So we've got people, and we know this is happening, from China who see, look, here's a country, and we're advertised as such overseas. Here's a country with no restrictions on foreign ownership.
Sure.
You can put it in no capital gains tax, no stamp duty, no land tax. Of course people are going to invest in here heavily.
And we do, as citizens, we do deserve to have the statistics on that. We should have a foreign buyers register.
The government should be keeping it. Treasury have said it wouldn't cost much.
You're right.
And it's a shame that these debates inevitably end up being obscured with cries of racism and xenophobia, which I think is a really huge distraction
and essentially what you're saying
is an
now,
important issue.
I find this extraordinary, but I'm agreeing with you entirely on this. Mary?
I employ 8 people, and if any of them
revealed any commercially sensitive information about my business and its workings, they're gone.
Yep, it's that simple.
So from an employer perspective, I completely sympathise with Barfoot and Thompson. On saying that, they are bush statistics, though, aren't they?
This is what they are what you have to resort to when you don't have proper data gathering.
Because there was a huge void that had to be filled.
The government
Mary
should
Lambie
be keeping this register.
And Vernon Tava, we will be back with our panel in just a moment. Alrighty, welcome back. Great to have you with us, New Zealand. It is 28 minutes past 8. Our panel are with us, thanks to our partners AMP, Mary Lambie and Vernon Tava. Right, let's handle this one very quickly. The police are calling for the Police Association are calling for the wide use of tasers. They're saying frontline officers should have tasers on them at all times. Mary, what do you think?
No brainer. Of course they should. I mean, what's the point in having it in the glove box? You're walking into a heated situation. But I think we need to do what the POMs do, and they have the revolver taser. So they can actually shoot, aim, and have impact from about 25 feet. I think our tasers are slightly different.
Yeah.
But as a percentage of people being maimed, it's really not that significant.
It's a perfect tool, isn't it?
It is a perfect tool. It's an absolutely perfect tool. And, who would want to be a copper at the best of times, let alone being a lone copper on a motorway dealing with a bunch of thugs without being armed?
And the wowsers, Vernon, will say, well, it's not perfect because one person's been killed and they're dangerous. The fact is, if it was a perfect world, we wouldn't need tasers or anything because there wouldn't be criminals.
Look, I mean, there are all sorts of dire predictions made when they first introduced tasers, and they looked at the states, which is not really an accurate analogy at all. And I've lived in Australia for quite a few years. People got shot all the time by police.
They don't take prisoners in Australia. When you've got a gun on your hip, and when the police have guns, the criminals have guns, and the whole situation escalates. And what you find is when you actually look at the statistics, it's so good because I have to do a report each time. So we've got actual numbers and data. About 80% of the time, they pull it out, and that stops it.
It's a deterrent. It's a massive deterrent.
As soon as they see that red laser dot on their chest, they go, this is a pretty bad idea. I think I'll stop.
50,000 volts, thanks.
So we're sending out more and more police on their own. Less of them are in pairs. So they're out there on their own. They're facing people who are violent.
You're right.
And
no criminal shouts out, you better bring your taser. You can't have it in the car, as Mary was saying. It's got to be on you.
It's like an ambulance going to an accident without medical supplies in the ambulance, waiting to get back to the hospital for the medical supplies. I mean, it's a stupid thing.
You can't go there thinking, that person may not be sick enough to need medicine. You have to have it with you. Absolutely. What a lovely... You're an allergy girl today, Mary, aren't you?
Thanks, Paul.
All right, Mary Lambie, Vernon Tava, be great to have you back again. Thank you very much for joining us. This is Paul Henry on a Thursday morning.